I talk about Elohim and YHWH and about the Garden of Eden video from, I think it happened to be yesterday, but I accidentally put in a video, I think my 86th video from sometime earlier. So there's probably a video in between there. But I wanted to talk about something that I had forgotten about. I thought about it at the time, but I'd forgotten to mention it because I had so much to talk about. There's a line. If you, I won't go through what I talked about yesterday. I'll give you, if you're new to this, if you haven't watched the earlier video, I will later on put a link in to my earlier video to watch that. What I talked about yesterday was the Garden of Eden story and a new insight that I gained from reading the what's in English translations given as the Lord and which is really Yud Hey Vav Hey, and God, which is really Elohim. In English translations, where you see the Lord in the Hebrew, the original Hebrew text, it says Yud Hey Vav Hey. The what's called the Tetragrammaton, the four Hebrew letter name of God, and where you see in English translations God, typically in the Hebrew, the actual Hebrew, it's Elohim. Now, these are the primary terms for the deity, the Israelite deity in the Torah. Um, what I missed out on, what I forgot to mention was that in the Garden of Eden story, after Adam has eaten the fruit from the tree of the knowledge, not just of knowledge, but the tree of knowledge of Tov and Ra. And I told you yesterday in the video that I don't like good and evil. Tov is more like decent or functional, purposeful, like suitable, decent, and Ra would be the opposite. So it's not moralistic in the sense that it's good and evil. It's more like what's decent and what's not decent. So it says that before they eat this, that they were naked, but they were not ashamed. And then to give you a quick recap, I pointed out that the serpent and Eve talk, and Eve, well, first of all, the serpent says Elohim, doesn't say Yud Hey Vav Hey Elohim, just simply says Elohim. Now, throughout the story, this is something missing in the English translation if you just skim through it. It's in English translation, it's the Lord God, which really glosses over the actual contextual meaning. In the actual Hebrew, it's Yud Hey Vav Hey Elohim. So notice the serpent talks to Eve and asks Eve, referring to the deity as just simply Elohim, not Yud Hey Vav Hey Elohim, but Elohim. And I think that's a big, big point. And then Eve responds to the serpent. It's interesting. It's all Eve related. Adam has very little activity, very little. He's not mentioned very much. Um, so Eve again refers to only Elohim when talking with the snake, when talking with the serpent, and she adds a few things when um, telling the serpent what Yud Hey Vav Hey Elohim told her. Um, Yud Hey Vav Hey Elohim told her, "You may eat from the plants or the trees around, but not the one in the midst of the garden." And so when Eve tells the serpent, she says that, but she also says, "Nor may we touch it," which is adding a limitation to what YHWH Elohim told her. Um, One could interpret that as Eve sticking her own ego or sticking her own self into the interpretation, into the instruction. So I'm wondering about the serpent saying, or talking with her, and Eve saying, on that day that you eat from it. Oh, hi, hello, Super Monkey VR. Hi, glad you're joining us. Um, that the on the day that you touch it, you shall die. When the day that you eat from the fruit, you shall die. Um, and that's pondered people. A lot of atheists and skeptics of the Bible point to this as saying, well, God lied. I don't think God lied. I think there's a matter of recognizing just simply Elohim as opposed to Yud He Vav He Elohim. I think there is some kind of wisdom or some kind of extra awareness. Hi, Leek. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Leek 3 Van, at like 3 Van. Um, Hope you're enjoying this. Um, there's some extra part in the Yud He Vav He element of God that's not recognized. So when the serpent and yes, when the serpent and Eve are talking together, they only refer to Elohim. There's a part later on, even though the entire narrative refers to the deity as Yud He Vav He Elohim. So later on, remember the part where after Adam has eaten from the fruit, um, the their eyes are open. Both he and Eve's eyes are opened, and then they notice that they're naked. And as I pointed out yesterday in the video, Yud He Vav He Elohim is walking in the garden, in the midst of the garden, and then uh, they tell Yud He Vav He Elohim um, something about being naked. And Yud He Vav He Elohim asks them, well, who told you that you were naked? Strongly implying that they weren't aware. They weren't aware that they were naked. My suspicion is that eating from the fruit um, of the knowledge of decent and indecent, there's a sense of separation. There's a sense of discrimination, and discrimination isn't the right word. Discernment, separation, an ability to see separateness in things. So I think that may play a part in why Eve and the serpent refer only to Elohim and not Yud He Vav He Elohim. Um, so then they're taken out of the garden, um, and then right before they're taken out of the garden, Yud He Vav He Elohim says, with expressed concern, what if he's already eaten from the tree of the knowledge of Tov and Ra? What if he should also eat from the tree of life and live forever? Um, in that quote, Yud He Vav He says, Elohim says, he has become like Elohim. Now, I had grown up reading that, and I think I'm not alone in thinking become like Elohim as being like, oh, become like God. I don't think I'm changing that interpretation. I don't think it was like he's become mighty and powerful. I think it's more like a despair. Think about Yud He Vav He Elohim as a combination of two facets. You have Elohim, which is, now I said in the video yesterday that um, Elohim was more like the mundane, immediate earth physical aspect or focus of the deity, and Yud-Hey-Vav-Hey as more like the heavenly focus of the deity related to the mind. I should rephrase that. It's more like I think the physical surroundings, what's out there versus what's internal. Oh, hi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Great name. Thanks for joining. Hi. Um, I hope you didn't miss that. Um, so Yud Hey Vav Hey Elohim, or sorry, Yud Hey Vav Hey, I'm interpreting to be the internal aspect of the deity, and Elohim as being the external aspect. So this becomes really philosophical. Stan Tenen he wrote a book called the Alphabet That Changed the World, and he delves into this combo, this interesting aspect of the combination of external and internal, mind and body. There's a narrative science that I've studied for quite a while called dramatica, and that's one of its elements. There's the mind, the internal mind, and then there's what's out there in the world, in the universe. Um, and I won't go into dramatica right now, but I think that's what Yud Hey Vav Hey Elohim relates to. I think it's a combination of Yud Hey Vav Hey in the mind and Elohim being out in the rest of the world, the surrounding world, and that Yud Hey Vav Hey Elohim as one deity, as the Garden of Eden story is the only time that you see both names as a singular entity. And then after that, there's the separation. You only see one name or the other. Um, Along with, that jibes thematically with several separations going on in the story. You have Eve being separated off from Adam. You have them being separated off from the Garden of Eden. You have, I can't think of others at the moment, but there are several separations. Just like later on, Israel is separated off from Egypt. And then in chapter 1, you have several creations um, caused from dividing something from something else. Light from darkness, and the upper water divided from the lower water, and so forth. So I think that may play a part in the serpent and Eve only referring to Elohim and not recognizing. It's almost like she's not recognizing the existence of Yud Hey Vav Hey. That's also interesting later on when Cain says something about you will not see my face, or I will no longer see your face. Um, I think that has something to do with it. There's like a separation that um, perhaps it's saying Cain will not be seeing or be in connection with Yud Hey Vav Hey, perhaps only Elohim. I'm hoping this is clear. I'll delve more into this in future videos, but I wanted to clarify that and mention The Alphabet That Changed the World, a great, fascinating book. It delves somewhat into Kabbalah. It's written by Stan Tenen, and I'll go into that in a future video. Hope you're having a good day. That's it for now. And I have a website. It's vvproductions.media. There you should see clickable links called in the menu called Shop, and it has a logo on various types of apparel like sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, and truckers hats. And I'm looking to do another podcast, a totally separate podcast, audio podcast on Spotify, so you'd be able to see it. And I've already set this up. I just have to put up the episodes, record the episodes, and put them up, publish them. I have it set up for Pandora, Sirius XM, um, Apple Music, YouTube, Deezer. I have a whole list there. So pretty much wherever you find good podcasts, you'll be able to see mine. I have several. I have five of them all set up. One of them is called the Torah Decoded, and what I plan to do is assemble these podcasts that use the transcripts from these podcasts, not transcripts, assemble these scripts because they're going to be scripted out ahead of time. Assemble the scripts into a book called The Torah Decoded, where you can read into this much at a much deeper level. So I'm going to make that available when obviously when I can. Um, on the shop on my website. So if you go to my website, you buy the stuff there, you'll seriously be helping my website. You'll be able to help my YouTube channel too, because um, tomorrow morning, wish me luck. I'm going on a state. I'm going on an interview for a state job. I used to work there for a little while through a temp agency, but wish me luck because hopefully I'll be able to be working directly for them. I'll hopefully be able to get state benefits and so forth, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'll know. I'll certainly know how the interview turned out after tomorrow morning, Monday. And in the meantime, any proceeds, any profits from those items of apparel in the shop go directly to paying off this Verizon bill so that I can still keep making these videos and you can still keep watching them. So until my next video, and I've got several ideas for videos. I want to talk about what I in my playlist, what's called memoir, my memoir playlist. I want to talk about being a Star Trek fan growing up and my mom hallucinating and how that affected me. I want to talk about very personal, intimate things, share intimate, personal things with you, and how I grew up with them, through them, how I dealt with them, how I developed my writing and so forth. So um, look forward to that. Um, Again, I hope you have whatever day you're watching this. I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk with you next time. Bye.